guys. Welcome to Stickman's Hoop World. This is my world. Listen, we're going to be talking about today what should the Sixers do? We had the NBA draft coming up this Thursday. The Sixers do not have any draft picks thanks for the tampering that Daryl Morey had already done. We done lost a second round pick. But listen, there's something very interesting I want to share with you guys. What should the Sixers do? It was reported by Andre Snellings of ESPN. Now, you know that the Pelicans are trying to move Zion Williams. And I don't know if they're trying to go up to the second pick with Charlotte to get a point guard, or I don't know what the Pelicans going to do, but uh, Andre Snellings of ESPN reported that a mock, trade with the Pelicans. They were saying that he was saying it would be a great idea if they would trade James Harden, PJ Tucker, the defending slam dunk champion Matt McClung, and two 2024 second round draft picks to the Pelicans in return for Zion Williams, Larry Nance Jr., Garrett Temple, and Trey Murphy III. Now, I kind of like that trade, but I will release Garrett Temple and keep Zion Williams, Larry Nance Jr., and Trey Murphy III, which he is a Durham native, and I think that would be a awesome trade. Tell me what you think about that, because and then if the Sixers, instead of they can take that money, because I know James Harden is trying to get a $200 million contract for 4 years, which he's not worth that any of that money. I just let him walk, because you need someone that's going to run Nick Nurse's system. And instead of spending all that money on James Harden, you can go out and get Fred Van Vliet, because he knows the system, he know how it should run, and he would be a great asset, along with Embiid, um, and Zion Williams. Oh man, that would be super awesome, and I think that will work for the Sixers. There's a whole lot of other stuff that I think the Sixers should do. I'm trying to find uh, the things that I think that the Sixers should do, because we have to work on the bench. Let me tell you something. The bench is the most important part of a of the team. You know what I'm saying? Because you need somebody to come in just in case Embiid gets hurt, or anybody that's a superstar that's going to be with the Sixers, and they end up getting hurt. And so we need someone to come in and and to take that spot. You know what I'm saying? And so I had came up with some players. If I can find my thing, that they should get, that would help out, to be a starter or be coming off the bench. Because they need to get rid of everybody on the bench. Everybody. I mean, I wouldn't keep nobody. Uh, so let me see if I can find it right quick. I'm searching for it. So but it is good to make sure the Sixers. I think this is what they need to do. They need to work on their bench. They need to work on. Nick Nurse has put together his coaching staff. Bobby Jackson is a good pickup for the coaching staff. I wish they would have kept. Also, oh, something happened. Okay, I wish they would have kept Sam Cassell also on the bench. because Bobby Jackson and Sam Cassell, they both were point guards, and so that would help out the point guards. And something interesting that Doc Rivers said in a recent podcast, I think with Bill Simmons, and he was saying how challenging it was to work with James Harden. And I quite know what he's talking about. He just put it that the word challenging. Actually, it was hard. Saying for him to work with James Harden because James Harden is older. He plays only one way, and so in other words, I think what Doc Rivers saying, it was hard for him to coach him. Saying because he was stuck in one way, and he's an older player. Doc Rivers said he's good, but he wish he would had him when he was younger. Okay, because then he would have been easily, you know, uh, can teach him, how to run his system. And so, it's all about the system. So if you don't have players that can run a coach's system, um, then it's going to be hard to try to win a championship. It's going to be hard to try and, saying to figure this thing out. Because listen, you got 22 games, okay, for a team to jail. Okay, so it's going to take time for everyone to get used to Nick Nurse's system, the way he wants to run things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about defense. He got to play defense, and so we got to find some players that would help out. And I had a list. I don't know what happened to my list, but I had a great list of free agencies that I think that the Sixers should grab that would help uh, them out big time. And I cannot find my list. I had a great list. So, but there are several free agencies out here that can help the Sixers out, and and but I can't find my list. So listen. Um, oh wait a minute. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Here we go. 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 I think I got my list. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Here I go. Now, instead of like I said before, instead of giving away James Harden 4 years, $210 million, we don't need to do that. Just let him go. He's not worth it. He's not worth any dollars. From the Sixers, we need to keep that money. Like I said, that if we can do this trade with the Pelicans, and that would be a great trade to get Zion Williams, Trey Murphy, uh, Larry Nance Jr. Which he would come off the bench. Um, saying Trey Murphy can start or come off the bench. He could be the sixth man, which would be great. Um, but here's another free agency that I think that the Sixers should go after is Chris Middleton, small forward from the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, he'll make a great starter. When healthy, he was one of the best swing men, in the game. He can score in the high levels. He This year, his stats was like he was like 15.1 points per game, uh, 4.2 rebounds a game. He was like 43% field goal percentage, which is good, and he was shooting 31.5% from the three. Now that would be a great pickup for the Sixers. Now I'm trying to tell you. Now you add Van Vliet, you add Middleton, you can add Embiid. You got Embiid. Then you have and then we start looking at the two guard. Maxi could come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Maxi could come off the bench. And that's what I would do. I would bring Maxi off the bench along with Trey Murphy. You know what I'm saying, to keep the scoring up. And we need somebody coming off, to back up. Because Embiid is injury prone right now, and so I think that the center from the Chicago Bulls, Nikola uh, Vucic, if I pronounce his name right, he's a good floor spacer, man. He can rebound. He got a mid range jump shot. He can go in the post. He's a very good rebounder. Listen, this year he was averaging 17.6 per game. He was grabbing 11 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists a game. He was shooting 50% from the field, 34% from the three. Now, hey, that'd be great. When NB goes out, get his rest. Here he comes coming in and still picking up the slack. Okay. Kyle Kuzma, okay, coming in for Zion Williams at power forward, which would be great. You know, he's another good player that I think that the Sixers should go after. Okay, he was averaging 21 points per game this year. He was grabbing 7 rebounds a game. He was averaging 3 assists a game. He was shooting 44.8% from the field. He was shooting from the three 33.3%, which is good. Okay, here's another one. He went from Carolina. The Sixers don't get Carolina players. Only one Carolina player they had was George Lynch ever. Okay, and that's amazing to me. I say they don't grab Carolina players. Okay, here you go. Cameron Johnson. Okay, played for the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, I think he's one of the best free agencies in this class that's coming out. He was averaging, since he left from Phoenix and went to Brooklyn, his stats went down because of the system. Okay, but he was averaging 15.5%, 15.5 per game. He had a 4.4 rebound rating, rebounds a game, one assist per game. He was shooting 47% from the field. He was shooting 40.4% from the three. Okay, I like him. He's good. Now here's another Nick Nurse uh, that came from the Toronto, which is Gary Trent Jr. Now he's a big shooting guard. And he's good. I like him. Bring him coming him off the bench. He knows the system already. Uh, he can shoot off the dribble. He's just a great playmaker. He can rebound and plus play defense. Okay, and so he was averaging 17 points a game. He was grabbing 2 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists per game. He was shooting 43.3% from the field, and he was shooting 36.9% from the three. Great. You know what I'm saying? These are the players I'm trying to say, the players that the Sixers can grab, okay, and add them to the team. Okay, you got Christian Woods from the Dallas Mavericks. Power forward, big guy. He can play center, power forward. He was averaging 16.6 per game. He was grabbing 7.3 rebounds a game. He had 1.8 assists per game. He was shooting 51.5% from the field and 37.6 from three. Great, you know what I'm saying? We can stretch the floor. We can go small ball if we want to. I mean, he would be a great fit for the Sixers. Okay, here's another one that I like from the Miami Heat. Gable Vincent. You know what I'm saying? He's a spot up shooter from the outside. Uh, he's tough. Okay, on defense, he can score off the dribble. Okay, listen, his stats this year it was low, but he was averaging like 9.4%, 2.1 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists a game. He was shooting 40.2% from the field, 33 uh, 0.4 from the three. Okay, so Gable Vincent from the Miami Heat, a point guard, would be great. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the bench, I like this him. These are free agents now that we can grab. Okay, Chris Levert. Now he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I like him. He is a big shooting guard. Uh, he can score. You know what I'm saying? When he come off the bench, he's a good defender. Listen, he was averaging 12.1 per game, 3 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game. He was shooting 43.1% from the field. He was shooting 39.2% okay, from three, which is great. Here's another one, small forward from the Portland Trailblazers, Cam Reddish. Okay, from he played at Duke. Okay, I like him. He's a scorer. He just haven't got into the right system yet, and I think he will flourish great in Nick Nurse's system. Uh, he been bouncing around the NBA, 9.7 points per game, two rebounds a game, or 1.4 assists a game. But he was shooting 44.6 from the field goal percentage, and he was shooting 31.3 uh, uh, from the 3 point line. Okay, percent. Now here's another favorite, another Durham native. Come on here, T.J. Warren. Okay, I like T.J. Warren. He's been injured, but he's getting healthy. He's getting back. He can shoot off the dribble. He's just smooth in what he does. He has a mid range. He can shoot the three. And because of he's just coming back off an injury. He was like at 7.5 points per game, two rebounds a game, one assist a game, but he was shooting 48.9 from the field, and he was shooting 38.8% from three. Okay, yeah, I'm just giving you some. I got two more that I think that in free agency that the Sixers can go get and would help out the bench or could become starters. Okay, uh, um, we got Jackson Hayes from the New Orleans Pelicans. He's a center slash power forward. He's a big guy, man. He can get up and down the floor. He can finish around the bucket. You know what I'm saying? But his stats, because I could say he was coming off the bench. He was just averaging like 5 points a game, 2.8 rebounds a game. He was shooting 55.1% from the field, and he was shooting like 10% from three. We don't need him out there on the three, but he is a big guy. He can rebound. He can run the floor, and I like him. I like this guy. So these are a couple of guys that I think that the Sixers should go after in free agency to help out. Saying just in case that if they can't get the Pelicans, if they don't want to swap that trade out or whatever, better been saying these are some other guys they can go out. They can take that 210 million that for 4 years they want to give to James Harden and spread it out and get some of these guys to help out the bench, make the bench stronger. Okay, the bench has to be strong because just in case Embiid can't do 82 games, you got to have somebody else that can come in and to take up his slack. You know what I'm saying? And I think these guys can take up the slack. So listen, what do you think that the Sixers should do? Listen, email me, tell me what you think the Sixers should do. I check y'all guys out next Saturday.